Let me tell you guys about the horrible experiences I had as a PSW working in a nursing home with abusive people in power. Whenever someone called in for a shift and they said they couldn't come in, they would then call other employees and let them know, hey, you're working on so-and-so unit. Are you willing to come in? No problem, because they told us the units that we would go on, right? So now I get to work and I get to that unit. I'm preparing, I'm doing my night shift stuff. And then the managers, you know, the power hungry people, walk up to me and they're like, you're not supposed to be on this unit. You're supposed to be on the locked unit. I would have never said yes to the locked unit. Never. She came to me and said, well, this is a unit you accepted. I said, no, I did not. So then she supposedly went to the office and called someone else to confirm whether or not it was the locked unit or the unit that I was on. She comes back after just a few minutes and she goes, nope, you've accepted the locked unit. I am collecting evidence from the day I walk in, no matter where I am. I had the conversation recorded, but they didn't know that. So I said to her, nope, I did not accept that locked unit. I accepted to be here. And she said, no, we heard on the phone, you accepted to be on the locked unit. Oh, I was waiting for her to say that. I was waiting. And then I said, no, I accepted to be here on this unit. And that if you guys are saying that I have to go on the locked unit, which I didn't accept to go on, I have every right to leave because I did not sign up for that. And she's like, well, you could potentially lose your job. Trying to scare me. Fear-mongering, okay? Bullies is what they are. And I said, you're going to have to be really, really careful with what you're about to say, okay? Because I know I accepted this unit. I would never accept the locked unit because I've had my earrings pulled out of my ears before, my nose ring pulled out of my nose. Why the hell would I accept to go there? And of course, the managers would say things like, no, you were well prepared. No. This is an HR matter anyway. So the next day we had a meeting and we went to the meeting and I let them say all the things they wanted to say, all the books, all the rights. I just let her go on and on and on. And then when she was done, they're like, do you have something to say? I said, I have a lot to say. But before I do, I want you guys to listen to this recording. I accepted to go on the unit that was obviously not the locked unit. And they're all just sitting there like, oh, well, dumbfounded. Now, instead of accepting what they did because they're bullies, they looked at me and they said, you are not supposed to be recording conversations. I said, oh, so that's what we're talking about? That's what we're talking about now? Not the fact that she just got caught in a lie and that you guys are bullies? All right. No problem. Anyways, ladies, collect evidence from the day you walk in, especially if you're in the healthcare field, because they're all bullies in there, because they spend their entire fucking life being there and they're just miserable. So don't let them make you miserable. Have evidence and shove it up their asses. Bye.